There are some great new iPhone apps out there. So in this video, I'm going to show you 30 plus apps. Many of them are brand new or recently updated for tracking your movies and TV shows. If you're a physical book reader like me, a better way to highlight those quotes and important points. Beautifully designed apps for weather and mindfulness, a really cool third-party keyboard, some apps to help you with that summer travel, and some that are just, well, for fun. Now, many of these are free to download, but do have subscription pro plans. I'll try to specify those as we go. But this first one is a brand new app, beautifully designed, and I immediately loved it. This is Showcase. You can go in and follow a movie. You can also mark it as watched once you see it. This works for movies or TV shows. So you can search for something like Wicked, add it both for the upcoming movie or the one that's already been out. You can follow it here, mark it as watched, which I have, and you even get the where to watch right here on the details page. Movies that have already come out or TV shows you can jump in, and you can even get alerts for things like upcoming episodes if you'd like. It also has the movie trailers right here once you go in, and if you go over to your profile, you can even import your movies and shows from Letterboxd or Track. Now, I did immediately upgrade to the Showcase Plus plan. It's either $2 a month or $10 a year, which is really reasonable, but I love that there's also a lifetime subscription option. So if you want to pay once and never think about a recurring subscription, $30 and the app is yours with all the pro features. Always love when there's a lifetime subscription option. Number two, there's a lot of apps out there like this, but Plant Identifier, this one really wants you to upgrade, which is $40 a year. I wasn't ready to commit to that, but you can get a 7-day free trial. And I'm not crazy when apps do this, but there is a cancel option really faded out there in the top right corner. So you can X out of that and then actually use the app. Just open the camera, take a picture, and it did a pretty good job analyzing a plant even from far away. I took a picture from my patio here of some of the plants outside, and it was able to identify it, and also gives you basic info, where it grows, characteristics. Really like all the metadata it gives you. You can also add them to My Garden, then browse all the plants that you have. And I used it for free. I didn't sign up for it, but it is going to be pretty aggressive about wanting you to sign up. Now, this next app I also immediately fell in love with. It's called Highlighted. Shout out to the developer who replied to my post on X. But this app does what I've been doing with shortcuts and taking photos of book pages, and it does a great job of taking your physical books. So if you like reading physical ones like I do, you can search for a book. It'll pull in the cover art, have all the information about the book. Then you can add it to your highlighted library. And then as you're reading, you can add a highlight, and you can either pull from your photos, manually type in a quote or bullet point, or use the camera, take a picture of the book page, and then it will use OCR to add that text into the app as a highlight. Now, I actually already have pictures of a lot of books, and so here for the book 4,000 Weeks, I can go into my photo library, go to where I've taken pictures of book pages, select a page, and you can select multiple if you'd like. Then it will OCR the text. You can move the highlights, even choose multiple highlights from the same page, and you can either merge or keep them as separate entries. Then when you hit continue, you see the text there. I'll save it to my book, and now I have part of my page right here in the app. Of course, you can search all the highlights with the magnifying glass and even export your highlights in a text or PDF format. Also, right now, Highlighted is free and there's no in-app purchase, so I would grab it right now. Next, there's a great camera app out there called Obscura, and the developer Ben now created Obscura Studio, which is professional photo editing right here on the iPhone. Now, you can try it out for free. You can make edits to your image. There are some built-in filters you can try out. It has some great highlight shadows and mid-tone sliders, even color curves if you want to go that in-depth. Then you can even favorite this filter to apply to other photos. But if you want to save this edit to your camera roll, you do have to pay for Studio Plus or Ultra, but we're talking $2 a month or $12 a year. Great deal, a really nicely designed app with powerful features, so if you do a lot of photo editing on your phone, I recommend trying it out. Now, speaking of camera apps, Adobe recently announced Adobe Project Indigo, which is a pro camera app for the iPhone. You can open pro controls like focus sliders, shutter speed and ISO settings, color temperature and exposure, and you even get things like a histogram right there in the corner, which is pretty cool. And you can see it changing live as I adjust the phone. I don't do a lot of pro photography with my phone, but it is free to try out if you want to download it. Also, links to this app and all the apps I'm talking about are in the video description below. Next is a fun kind of game app, but also a brain training app, and this is called Elevate. You go through an initial test and it kind of sets levels for your reading comprehension, words, math, all that kind of stuff. And then you can do little games like a daily crossword. You can work on your vocabulary. Now, it is free to use, but they want you to upgrade, of course. Little steep at $15 a month or $40 a year. Lifetime is also very steep at $400, but you can just use it for free and do the recommended little games right here at the front, like working on your brevity, which so many people in the corporate world should probably work on their email brevity. And there's little achievements to unlock and stuff like that. Next, if you're with some friends and family and you're not sure what game to play, I would recommend trying Wavelength. Everyone plays on their own device, then people join a room. You can join a game here or host it. I'll host this game. Now you can play totally for free, use the starter pack. There are other packs if you play this a lot and really love it. You can buy the big bundle for $5, but you can just go for free with the starter. People join with the room code, and then you can turn on a little tutorial if it's your first time playing it. And basically each player will be given a range like this, hot and cold, and you have to say a word that will help everyone else guess exactly where that blue line is, or 4 points. And if you get close to it, you still get some points. And every person who's in the game will get a chance to kind of be the clue giver, and then everyone else guesses. Once everyone guesses, it's revealed where that range was, and the team gets points. Everyone's playing kind of on the same team, and you're just trying to get the highest score possible. Next, I heard about PictureThis Pro over here on Threads. Right now, the app is free, so I would grab it quickly. But if you're a musician and you want a metronome or tuner, this is a great app. I love the design, easy to see both. You can see it's trying to tune my voice right now. Apparently I'm a little sharp, but you can also add different widgets or even create a new page with a new design. Lots of preset template pages that has both the tuner, a metronome, and a tone generator, which it will play the exact note. And there's lots of color themes up here. I like the darker themes over on this side. It's a really nicely designed app. If you're a musician of any kind, this is a great app to try out. Next, this is actually a daily habit tracker known as Fabulous. This app is pretty wild. It has a really nice design. Yes, it does want you to upgrade to a pro plan, and you do have to pay for it. There's no free features. $40 every quarter or $50 a year. But there's lots of mindfulness and coaching exercises in here. And there's also letters that you can read, which is actually kind of nice. There's some encouragement and habit forming tips. There's also little illustrations, influential quotes, factoids from university studies. I like reading through that little letter, and then it gently guides you into setting goals, just something simple like drink more water. Then you can say, I've done this today, and it'll help keep track of these habits. Again, I love all the little illustrations and design. You can also create routines for the morning, afternoon, and evening to help you with whatever goals you're trying to achieve. You can try it for a week for free. That's what I'm doing right now. I don't know if I'll pay for all the features and continue with it, but I really appreciate the design. Really cool icon too. Next, Josh over on Mastodon told me about Hello Weather, which received a big update. First time I'd ever heard of this app. But Hello Weather is another really nicely designed app. This is what you see on the free version. I'm not paying for it right now. I like the little temperature graphs and also the weather conditions underneath that. You can also scroll down for the week view, and you can even change your weather source, but you do have to upgrade to the paid version for that. If you want to upgrade, it's $2 a month or $20 a year. Then you get access to moving radars. You can choose your weather source. You also have more controls over the app icon and appearance. But a weather widget is something I definitely use often. And Hello Weather has some nicely designed widgets. I usually go for the long horizontal version, and it has one of those. You can even get that temperature graph in a widget if you would like. Lots of nice design here. And if you just want to use the free version to look at a nice weather app, you can do that too. Speaking of widgets, there's widgets available for a lot of the apps I'm going to be talking about in this video. I'm not going to go over every single one, but Showcase, the very first app I talked about, has some cool widgets. You can get the countdown days to a movie you're looking forward to. Fabulous, the daily habit tracker, also has some nice widgets. And so does Particle. Now, I'd never heard of Particle News until Kylan and Threads told me about it. But if you want a news app where you can really tweak what you see when you first open the app, Particle is great. I like the design, big cards for the different stories. You can jump in, nice readability here. You can even play an audio version of a lot of the stories. But what I love is the content preferences. And here you have all these different categories, and you can use the plus and minus icons across each one, and even go even more granular to specific topics, and tell Particle I want more of these kinds of stories or less. When I first opened it up, it was a little political, so I just turned those stories down, cranked up the technology stories, of course, and this might be kind of my daily news check-in. I like the Apple News app. Of course, I have News Plus as part of the Apple One bundle, but being able to granularly control the topics like this, apart from just choosing the news sources you want, seems like a really cool idea. Check it out below. Also, it's free to use. I don't see any in-app purchases or pro subscription needed. Now, I had several people tell me about other apps they use to track movies and TV shows. Steve over on Threads told me about Showline. Pretty nicely designed, tells you where you can watch different movies if they're out on streaming. Really wants you to create an account before you can use it though. There's different themes once you set it up, and it is $1 a month or $15 for a lifetime subscription. And another app to track your movies and TV shows, an app called Konsensus with a K. This recommendation came from Blue Sky, and I'm sure it's a great app. Also has tracked sync. I actually couldn't get it to work with Sign In with Apple or my Letterboxd account, so I just couldn't really get in, but it's another movie TV show app to try out. Now over on Threads, this developer, Mateo, told me about his app, MyVinyls, and we actually just got into vinyl records, and so I have a couple you can add here. It is free to use. You can add your records here. You can go to collection, and here's one of the LPs we recently got, has information about it. It is a little aggressive with the ads, so you're gonna see that ad bar pretty much at the bottom of every page. And this upgrade to Platinum. It is $5 per year, so reasonably priced. I don't know if I have a big enough collection to upgrade just yet, but if you have a lot of LPs, this is an option for tracking them. And if you're a vinyl listener, let me know. Do you use this app, other ones? I'd love to hear it down in the comments. This next recommendation came from Jason on X, and this is a subscription tracker called Orbit. Now I have a couple of these apps we can try out, but Orbit I actually find to be beautifully designed. Love this opening splash screen. You can add subscriptions either manually here, or you can even import from photos, import from a file like a CSV or a PDF. And again, you can add them manually here. You can say how much you're paying every time it renews. You can even have multiple lists like personal and business, have different categories, filter by billing cycle like monthly or annually, and even see when your subscriptions renew on that calendar view. If you want to have unlimited subscriptions and iCloud sync, it is a lifetime purchase, but it's only $10 and no monthly or annual subscription. So $10 and you would own it. Again, I've really leaned towards beautifully designed apps, and this is one of them. So kudos for the Orbit app. Another app you can try along this vein is called Submanager. Again, you can add subscriptions manually. You do have to upgrade to the Plus version for things like categories and maybe adding your payment method. It's also only a one-time charge though, $11, and that includes family access for lifetime subscription. And you get these features once you upgrade. More utilitarian design, but if you like that sort of thing, that's a great option too. Next, this app is super fun. It's called Flexi Board. This is basically a third-party keyboard that has a bunch of tools that then you can access wherever you type. Now, this has a lifetime subscription of $20. You can do monthly at $3. I'm just using the free version right now, but it also has a built-in clipboard-esque manager. So let's say I want to add something to my clipboard history. Well, I can have some text selected, go to share, and then FlexiBoard adds a couple actions here in the share sheet, like copy to clipboard. If I do copy to clipboard and then maybe go over to a text message, then I can tap and hold on the globe key, go to the FlexiBoard keyboard, allow it to paste, and you'll see my clipboard history is right here. Then I can just tap on one of the things I copied previously, and it pastes right where my cursor is. Plus, there's also some fun tools in here like a calculator if you want to do some tip calculations. You have a dictionary keyboard, a little calendar in the keyboard, which is pretty slick, and you can have some bookmarked favorites here just to quickly paste. Pretty slick having that as a third-party keyboard. And that recommendation was from SwiftSlinger here on Threads. And it's a little hacky, but it is sort of a clipboard manager here on your iPhone. Now over here on Mastodon, David recommended Lex.Games. If you love Wordle, Connections, and those New York Times games, you can get even more here in Lex.Games. They have a 6-letter Wordle type game. You have a Collections. See what he did there? And you can still play and compete against other people. If you want to appear on those leaderboards, get full-size crosswords, there is a subscription. Annual is $20 a year, monthly is just $2 a year, and you're getting a bunch of games here in this one app. And while some of the apps I mentioned in this video have teams behind them, a lot of them are just individual developers just making apps that they love, trying to get it out there to the world. So if you find apps you love, download, pay for the pro plan, lifetime or annual subscription, and you're supporting some awesome developers. Next, maybe you're trying to do more food tracking and meal planning. Well, Alma is a beautifully designed app to track those meals. Here you can create individual foods or meals. This way it has the calorie and protein count already built in. Then you can say when you've had those meals, and it will write this information to Apple Health, letting you keep track of the data there as well. Really beautifully designed app. If you search for a meal but you haven't saved one yet, you can search for something like tacos. It'll ask you things like what were the ingredients and try and get you as close to the actual calorie and protein count as possible. Now, there are a bunch of features behind the paywall for like detailed nutrient tracking and things like that. You're looking at $10 a month or $100 a year, but I do really love the design of this app. And the fact you can create custom meals and it has lots of suggestions as you search for things. I think I'm going to give this one a go. Next, this recommendation came from Threads, which is Gainline. This is a rugby app. And not like the rugby play the game on your phone, but to track your favorite rugby teams, see upcoming games, you can get live activities for scores. I know precisely zero about rugby, but it looks very similar to the Apple Sports app, so it might have taken some design cues from there, but if you're into it, give it a shot. If you want things like those live activities though, you do have to pay $3 a month or $20 a year. All right, this next app, it's $3, one-time purchase, no subscription, but it's just for fun. It's the iPod player. You can literally use your iPhone as if it were an iPod. Go around the scroll wheel. I can go into settings here. I can change the theme or model. Let me go with the black theme. This was actually my first iPod video, was black. I can even change the model. Go classic, touch wheel, even the original. It has some nice haptic feedback, so you can feel going around the click wheel, just like the old school iPods. And honestly, it's just fun to kind of go around the circle and feel that haptic feedback. I'm still down for Apple to bring the iPod back, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, you can also go to a Music Boy style if you prefer that. Use the little D-pad here, A, B, select settings. That's kind of fun too. Thanks to Boss for that recommendation over on Threads. Next up is an app called Benkyo Box. If you need help studying or you're trying to just memorize some things, Benkyo Box basically makes kind of a flashcard interface. So you have the question here, you can tap on it and then see the answer. It has a bunch of pre-made cards, but you can also create your own. Might help you study for tests, or if you just want to work on your memorization. Next on X, Jose Alvarez suggested Semantical. Now this one is in beta right now, but it's another take on a task app. Looks nicely designed. I'm always down to try another task app. Everyone has their own preferences, so you can join the beta now, but keep an eye out for that app to come out. Next, there's a workout planner app called Whistle. You can add your favorite kinds of workouts, plan it throughout the day, and then sync this to your Apple Health. If you want to create personal workout routines, there is a premium $5 a month, $25 a year subscription, and even an ultra plan. You can see what each one offers down here. But if you enable access to your Apple Health, you also get like your sleep insights, weather information, all here. So if you do a lot of workout planning, might be a nice app to try. Next, on Threads, this developer reached out specifically to share his app called Mirror Mind. If you want a way to track your emotions daily, that's what this is for. And it'll even generate images based on the little prompt you give it and the emotions you're experiencing. I'm in the 7-day trial right now. It is $2 a month or $15 a year, but you can look through your album of images generated. You can also go to a calendar view and see what your emotions were on a certain day. Once you jump in the app, you can choose from one of these emotions. You can't do a combination. You can basically just choose one, but then you can write a little bit about it, and you'll have that context for the future. Next, over on Blue Sky, developer Matt plugged his own app called Bobbin. Now, this looks like a great app. It's nicely designed, and if you're into sewing, I think this might be the first ever sewing app that I have featured in a video. You can add it to the wish list or save it to your stash so you can go back and refer to it. Gives you the string information, which I have no idea what it is, has the source link there. Really nicely designed app. Again, I do zero sewing, although I can sew. I've sewn some holes in my child's clothes, but if sewing is your thing, definitely check out Bobbin. Next, this is an app I've used for a long time, but I don't remember to mention it often, and that's Hotel Tonight. If you're traveling this summer and you're looking for a hotel to stay at, Hotel Tonight is the way to go. I love that you can just kind of move the map around, choose to search in that area, and then you're going to see last-minute hotel deals. And you'll see that deal went from $320 to $200. That's the kind of deals you can get. That's kind of a last-minute perks. And the longer you use Hotel Tonight, like that price that just went down, you actually get more benefits and rewards over the years as you book. As you can see, I've been using it for almost 10 years, and I'm on level 7. I've stayed over 30 nights with the app. You can see some of the perks for achieving this level. You can go back and look at your past stays right here, but you can book for tonight, but you can also search for the future. Not super far in the future, the deals aren't as good when you go that far out, but you can choose a couple dates, we'll say next weekend, and you'll see some deals to book in advance. Next, my kids were looking for apps to color with, and I came across this Disney app. You do need to pay for the subscription. It is $50 a year, but you have a lot of Disney characters, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and if your kid has an iPad with an Apple Pencil, this can be kind of an infinite coloring book canvas. Another workout tracking app, this one's called Lift. This came from the developer directly over on Threads. I don't see any pro or subscriptions or in-app purchases here, so you can use it to track your workouts. You can create custom workouts here, add your different exercises. You can save it as a template or start the workout and keep track of how you've been lifting. Next, if you have an old iPad around and you want to use it as a digital picture frame, well, there's an app for that. Digital photo frame app. You can choose from your photos, load this up on an iPad. Once you've chosen the photos or an album, you can have it repeat, shuffle, choose the slide time and transition type. start the slideshow, and now you have a makeshift digital photo frame. You can also pull from things like Unsplash or Flickr, so if you just want some nice stock photography, nature, scenery, skylines, things like that. You can also connect it to Google Photos, but you do have to pay for it. It's $30 a year or lifetime access for $70. All right, and last app, I believe this is 31, 11 Labs, which is the AI text-to-voice generator app, now has a standalone iPhone app. If you have custom voices that you've trained, you can log in with your account if you have custom voices trained and generated here. Looks very ChatGPT-esque. If you want to generate some audio from text, it'll get the job done. So those are 30 plus apps for iPhone. Let me know if you try any and they stick that you really love and are using regularly. Let me know down in the comments. Also, wallpaper from Basic Apple Guide. I'll link that in the description as well. And subscribe to the channel and hit that like button before you go. I've done lots of app roundups in the past, and I think it's the first time I've covered any of these. But if you want to see my last one, check it out here, or all the apps that I install on every new Mac. I did a video on that as well. Check it out right here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.